Hi, welcome to the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. I'm Josh Krupp. In 1993, Scott Schubert joined the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police. Now in 2017, Schubert is the new leader of the Pittsburgh Police. The 24-year veteran of the police force took over the department in the interim in November and was recently sworn in as the permanent police chief. He's also a Point Park University graduate and joins us now in the Center for Media Innovation. Chief, thanks so much for coming back to your alma mater.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
Let's talk about your Point Park days a little bit. Coming here for your bachelor's in 2008, sticking around for your master's in 2010, and we couldn't get rid of you, so coming back as an adjunct professor, teaching some Homeland Security courses since 13. Why did you come to Point Park initially, and what kept you around?
Well, it was actually in 2007 when I got promoted to commander. Assistant Chief Bryant at the time was also a student here, and she approached me about looking at taking different courses, because I was teaching crime scene investigation and things like that, and there was a number of people who were asking me to come and teach for them, but I didn't have a degree. So when I first got promoted, talking to Chief Bryant, she was telling me about Point Park. I thought about it, and really what I looked at was not just for myself, but I had two children at the time, my son Alex and daughter Haley, and I thought about them. And I've always been a person who likes to lead by example, and I would never ask somebody to do something I wouldn't do myself. So that was probably the deciding factor, was to come down here and get my bachelor's. And when I finished, I thought, why not just keep going? So I did my master's as well, and had a great experience down here. And then I did teaching for different universities after that.
Describe your relationship with the Point Park Police Force and Chief Jeff Bisson. What's that like, and how do the Point Park Police work with the Pittsburgh Police, and maybe vice versa too?
It's a great relationship, and I've known him for quite a while before he even came to Point Park. We have a great police department. We have a great relationship with them. We have different special events, like with tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day parade. They help us out. We help them out. We help train with for their bicycle operators and things like that. We're always in constant communication. As a matter of fact, I think I just saw them yesterday or the day before. So great relationship, and I'm really excited to see how far the police department has come since when I was here. I don't think they had anything other than security. So it's great to see how professional the police department is.
How has your transition been, going from just an on-duty officer to throughout the course of your career now being the acting police chief?
Well, it's something I love. I've always wanted to be a Pittsburgh police officer. My late father was a Pittsburgh police officer, and love the city, love everything about it. Looking out this window here, I'm looking at these old buildings and the great architecture. But love being out on the street. Love the various roles I've had within Pittsburgh Police, and to get to go to the highest level is just something that means a lot to me, and I'm very humbled by that opportunity to do it, and look forward to working with the officers, working with the community to take our department to an even higher level.
Since serving in the interim role in November and then taking over full-time in late February, what's been the most challenging part of your job?
Probably the most challenging job, I guess, would be really the time. I mean, I always stay active with things, but it's never ending. It's from one meeting to the next, and I like to be out there in the field, but because of all the meetings, I'm not able to get out as much. I still like to do traffic stops and stop at calls for the officers, but internally, probably just trying to make sure that we have a good relationship with everybody. Getting out to the community meetings and getting out to the FOP, because there was a contentious relationship between the FOP and the prior chief, and trying to just go with the thought that there's so much more we can do if we work together than working against one another. So that's what that's probably the biggest challenge, is just to make sure we rebuild all the relationships and let everybody know that we're here to work as a team and to make things better for everybody.
And you mentioned the prior chief, Cameron McClay, who was an outsider coming from Wisconsin, and then you taking over as a Pittsburgh guy. What of what of McClay's reign and his tenure, I guess, are you going to continue?
Well, I think there's a lot of things we had in common, even before he came to Pittsburgh. With improving the relationship you have with the community, improving technology, increasing the amount of training we provide for our officers. So there's a lot of things that he was doing, and the vision we had every year since he came are things that I believed in and are things that we're still continuing on with. And so there's really not a whole lot that you'll see changed, because I think we both believed in the same thing.
We want to get to a few questions from students that were sent in. Nicole asks about something that's been on the mind of several Point Park students recently that really hit home here with the Dakota James case. Now, first of all, there are several students here in the community, a very large LGBT population at Point Park, and there are several students who have expressed concerns about maybe going outside at night by themselves, or who are fearing that there may be a serial killer on the loose, and that's some conspiracy theories going on social media. Nicole wants to know, first of all, is there any evidence to that? And she also wants to know how the department can learn from what they've gone through in the last 6 weeks with the Dakota James case.
There's no indication that there's anything like that going on in Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania. But with anything, no matter where you're at, you should always, especially universities, try to walk in pairs, look out for one another, things like that. As far as learning, I think we learned from every investigation we're involved with. On that case, which is so tragic, I mean, you can't even imagine, and I've been involved in a number of things over the years, but you can't even imagine what the family's going through. In one, with the person's missing, and then two, with the outcome that came from that. Always our hearts go out to the families and loved ones of any incident like that. But you always do learn from it. You always look, what can we do better? What services are out there? So it's something. It's not just that case. It's all cases you do. You learn things from it.
And right in Point Park's backyard is Market Square, and Meg wants to know about the tables and chairs in Market Square, and if removing those, do you think that taking the tables and chairs out of Market Square will help lower the crime and the drugs that were there over the last summer that we saw?
Well, I think you've got to try different things. And it's not just a police thing. This is a community thing, and Point Park is a part of the community. The businesses are a part of the community, and we've got such a huge increase of residents that live downtown that are a part of it. So it's working together to make things better, to make things safer. And that's been one of the things that's been a suggestion for years, is taking the tables out, so you don't have people who come down and just take ownership of those tables and they stay there all day. So that's something that they're looking at. They're going to give it a try, see how it works. And then look at any other things. There's been a number of recommendations to help improve that area and other parts of downtown.
And a few students, Maddie and Aaron, both sending questions about mental health in the community. Aaron wants to know if there are mental health checkups for officers, and also wanting to know about the department's relationship with the mental health community, specifically pertaining to cases that deal with mental health patients.
That's a good question. One of the things for our department, and me in particular, is the welfare of our officers, because what they go through on a day-to-day basis, the things that they see, the emotional stress that they're put under, things that are occurring at home, we want to make sure that they're well. So we have a wellness coordinator, Patty Paluca, who that's all she does, is to look out for the welfare of officers, physical fitness, mentally, spiritually, things like that. And we also do a number of things to work with Allegheny County and other local agencies on, with that type of situation, with mental illness and things like that, where we actually teach our officers, CIT officers, everybody's going through it, on what to look for and how to deal with it. because many times in the past you had no idea what you're dealing with. You didn't know if somebody was just not listening to you or being defiant and not recognizing why they were doing it. So all the officers are trained in that so they can see that, and it's really nice. And I've used it as well on even just on traffic stops, where something just wasn't right, and I would call for a CIT officer, let them come talk to the person, evaluate it, and then we can that helps dictate what we're going to do, and it helps so we can give them options for help as well and referral. And so I think that's been a great thing for our department. I think it's been a great thing for the city. And not only do we use it, but we teach other agencies in Allegheny County now to do it as well. So we've kind of become the leaders in that realm.
And Aaron also asks how the department is striving to ensure diversity within the department, and also wants to know about training to prevent racial profiling. And there have been many headlines written in recent years about the police's relationship with the community in that respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, diversity is a huge thing. It's on everybody, their radar, whether it's our civil service, on how they do things, and then with Pittsburgh Police, we obviously want a department that's reflective of the community we serve. And not just with the officers coming in, but it's something we have to be cognizant of the supervisors. So we have sergeants, lieutenants, commanders, assistant chiefs, deputy chiefs, and the chief of police to ensure that your supervision staff, supervisory staff, is reflective of the department in the city as well. So civil service has been working on new ways to hit whether different universities, hit with the military, the faith-based groups, and getting out there and trying to recruit people who want to become Pittsburgh police officers. And I think this is probably one of the best jobs in the world. I might be biased, but there's so much you can do within the Pittsburgh Police between not just doing patrol, but we have so many different opportunities where you can work at the academy and teach people. You can be on a SWAT team, you can be on river rescue, you can be on the motorcycles, you can be a homicide detective, you can be a crime scene investigator, you can go out into the schools and teach, you have our community resource officers. There's so much to do out there, and that's what we got to kind of really get out to people and say, look, this isn't just about being out arresting people. There's so much more you can do to help make a difference in the lives of others, and that's what we're really going out and trying to recruit people who are the same mindset that they do want to make a difference in the lives of others.
And we'll end with this. You said this is a great job. You think it's the best job in the world.
I do.
Describe to us what the perfect day on the job is for the Pittsburgh Police Chief.
Well, the perfect day is the officers go home safe, the public's safe, and we have a beautiful city. So working is a partnership between the police and the community to ensure, when you look out these windows at this town, it's just an incredible town. I mean, people come together, whenever the chips are down, people jump in and help make things better. There's not too many places in this country where, if you're lost, somebody's going to walk you to where you need to go, or say, follow me, and I'll go out of my way and show you how to get to the Parkway. That's who we are in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. So the perfect day for me is everything going right, and just getting to enjoy doing what I do, and looking forward to not challenges, but taking those challenges and making them into opportunities. So that's kind of what I like to do.
Well, Chief, thank you so much for coming back to your alma mater for a few moments, and that'll do it here for us from the Point Park University Center for Media Innovation.